Good morning, Monica and Grace. That's right. We're here at Franklin Elementary, where they are literally rolling out the red carpet for students. San Antonio police officers were called out here to a home for an off-duty deputy. The homeowner tells us that this is the second time his home has been targeted by a vehicle. Now, just take a look behind me. You can see the big gaping hole inside the home. It is still a very active scene here on Palmetto Way, where deputies tell us that a 51-year-old man was shot in the leg. Good morning, Miriam. That's right. It's a pretty big event. Organizers say it kind of officially kicks off Fiesta, which starts next Thursday. And joining me live is the Texas Cavaliers River Parade Grand Marshal Mark Johnson. Mark, thank you so much for joining us.
Sure, Jennifer.
Tell us what exactly is going on behind us. Police did find a person of interest about 2 blocks away. Now, all investigators had to do was follow a blood trail from that second-story apartment you see there. You could see here lots of drinking water out here, just waiting for lots of residents who have already made it out here this morning. We are here at the Hebner Country Apartments right off Babcock and Hebner Road. Now, here to tell us more about what exactly happened is Sergeant Brian Reyes with the San Antonio Police Department. Sergeant, tell us what time were you called out here and what exactly happened? And Captain Anderson, any clues as to what could have happened inside that apartment? And organizers tell us it's the first of many they'll hold to establish a game plan against the criminal activity they say is taking over their neighborhood.
Breaking news first on Fox. A woman accused of stabbing her son's father to death is found guilty of manslaughter.
Our Jennifer Saucedo is live downtown, where the decision just came down about half an hour ago. Jennifer.
Hey, Mike and Karen, around 8:30 tonight, jurors found Tiffany James guilty of manslaughter, not murder, what she was originally facing. Now, this incident happened back in November of 2009, and James had been out on bond since the incident, but she was immediately placed into custody after the verdict was read. She's now facing up to 20 years in prison. Now, this incident happened back in November 2009. Tiffany James stabbed her boyfriend and son's father, Antoine Wolford, in the chest, killing him. Prosecutors say it was murder, and they said that James killed Wolford in a jealous rage. They said she was infuriated because he had impregnated 2 other women, and she killed him intentionally. But defense attorneys say James had endured lots of abuse under Wolford, and she feared for her life, and it was self-defense.
She reaches up.
Now, once again, James was found guilty of manslaughter, not murder, and she is facing that 20-year prison sentence. The minimum she can get is 2 years in prison. Jurors will be back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock here at the Justice Center to begin the punishment phase, where several of Antoine Wolford's family members and loved ones are expected to testify. Of course, we'll be here and we'll have the very latest on what she ultimately receives. Reporting just outside the Kadena Reeves Justice Center, I'm Jennifer Saucedo, Fox News at 9. The Patricia movement on East Mitchell is closed with chain and lock. Their employees,
You don't just throw us out like dogs.
And clients.
A lot of us don't even have anywhere to go. We're homeless.
Left outside its doors with questions.
We want the truth, we want answers, and we want our money.
The rehab facility is out of money.
The Patricia movement, after 52 years of successful service to the community, is going to have to shut down.
Employees say they were told to be here by noon to pick up their paychecks, but the gate was locked and they were told to leave the property.
How am I going to pay my bills?
We have prepared checks for our employees, but we do not have the funding to be able to meet those checks.
Acting Executive Director Rick Johnson hands out termination letters. Employees say this paper isn't the one they were expecting on their scheduled payday. They confront Johnson outside the facility.
Mr. Johnson, where's our check? Everybody wants to know when we're going to get our check.
Now the 20-plus workers are without a job.
My daughter's birthday's coming up, August 8th. I don't know what to do now. I mean, what am I going to do?
It's a big disappointment to be treated in this fashion after putting in so much faithful service for Patricia movement.
And the clients who sought this center to escape from the world of drugs and alcohol are disappointed.
This was our home, you know.
Yeah, this is our home, you know. And
they just took us in, you know, and it was our home, and it's sad to see it go.
Jennifer Saucedo, Fox News at 9.
But my daughter is the one facing your life sentence.
It's a confrontation Tracy Lopez says she couldn't pass up.
In my heart, I felt like it was something I had to do for my daughter and for my family.
In 2009, Lopez and her 2 daughters were struck by a car driven by Julie Bronson. Bronson was drunk and had the sleeping aid Ambien in her system. In May, a jury gave her 10 years probation. Bronson was back in court where a judge set her probation conditions, which include 6 months in jail and a 2-year driver's license suspension.
I have spent 3 years watching my daughter try to get back what you took from her.
Ava Lopez is still in physical therapy. Her mom says the little girl struggles daily and Bronson is to blame.
You have torn my family apart, and I hope every night you go to bed and you remember that. Because you know what I go to bed and I think of every night? I remember looking up and seeing a car right in my face and remembering all I can do is turn because my 2 girls and I are going to get plowed down by a car.
But Lopez says her family got justice today. She just hopes Bronson learns a lesson.
I hope that anytime you think of taking a drink, anytime you think of doing something like that, you think of Ava and her face is in your head every day.
Jennifer Saucedo, Fox News at 9.
My son got off the car, and I guess as he was going around the car, it's like he got struck by the vehicle.
3 weeks ago today,
And
Maria Huerta's world turned upside down.
I know there's nothing in this world that would bring my son back. All I'm asking is that for there to be some type of closure.
Her son, 33-year-old Luisito Valenzuela, was hit and killed just before 3 in the morning, back on October 15th. It happened on this stretch of I-35 North, near Walsham.
He can walk into any building and make you laugh, and if you're having a bad day, he would put a smile on your face. That's the description. I mean, he was full of life and full of love.
Huerta is desperately looking for answers. She says her son's passenger that night was drunk.
He's not remembering a whole lot, so he's not really being helpful, to the authorities, and so we really don't have anything at this point.
Luis's mother believes the person who hit her son never slowed down because there was no evidence of skid marks left behind at the scene. What makes it even more difficult is knowing a person hit someone and didn't stop.
Hitting, a human being, and being thrown 36 feet. You're not going to tell me that there's not, traces of my son's blood on that vehicle.
The heartbroken mother is making a plea. Whoever did this, turn yourself in.
Ask yourself, would you not want to have some type of closure knowing that someone struck your child?